Who are California's low-pay workers? Do they experience a gender pay gap? If there is, which occupations have one? To answer these questions, let's start by looking at the number of California workers. I estimate there are 21.5 million Californians who report working in an occupation sector, but this number includes part-time and full-time workers, those who worked less than 52 weeks of the year, self-employed workers, those who may or may not be in the labor force, and even those who might not be at work because of disability or for some other reason. To identify low-pay California workers and also analyze if there is a gender pay gap, I only included workers in the analyses who are the same in how often they work, how long they work, and the type of work they do. Given that I wanted to analyze similar workers, our operational definition of a low-pay worker includes those people who are 16 years old and older, work 35 or more hours per week, work 50 to 52 weeks of the year, are not self-employed nor receiving income from self-employment, are at work, and are categorized as employed in the civilian or non-civilian labor force. So, whittling down Californians to fit our operational definition of worker gives us an estimated 9.4 million Californians to analyze. I next identified the bottom 20% of earners out of those 9.4 million workers who fit our operational definition. This is an estimated 1.9 million workers who reported earning $24,000 or less for an entire year of full-time work. These are our low-pay California workers. So who are these low-pay workers? They are majority men, but women also represent a sizable chunk at 45.3%. Over half are Latinx at 61.4%. Exactly half are estimated to be ages 25 to 44, and 62% have a high school diploma or less. In which occupation sectors do these workers predominate? Well, a little over half are distributed among 5 occupation sectors. We see office support, which includes jobs such as first-line supervisors, file clerks, and credit authorizers. There is also food service, which includes jobs such as chefs, bartenders, and dishwashers. We also see low-pay workers in production, sales work, and transportation and material moving occupation sectors, which each also include a variety of more detailed occupations. Getting a little more specific about who is in these occupation sectors, let's look at the distribution of our low-pay workers according to where women are most densely represented. Women comprise over half of the low-wage workers in many occupation sectors and are found in larger numbers than men are in health services, education, personal care, medical, legal, office support, finance, business, sales, community service, and management. But which occupation sectors contain a significant gender pay gap? For our purposes here today, I focus us in on the occupation sectors where women experience a gender pay gap. As we can see, there is a significant gender pay gap for women in the low-pay farming, fishing, and forestry occupation sector, as well as in the cleaning and maintenance, sales, food work, and production occupation sectors. We still don't necessarily have similar work to analyze, but certainly in the ballpark. It's tough to tell how similar the work is because we've been viewing these larger occupation sectors. But the ACS does allow us to study smaller occupation groupings. Analyzing the smaller groupings brings us closer to evaluating a gender pay gap for more similar work. So let's take a closer look at the smaller groupings in an occupation sector where there are a lot of low-wage workers and where there is a significant gender pay gap for women, the food service sector. Recall that we saw that women under-earn men in this occupation at 94.7 cents to their male counterparts' dollar. We can see looking at these smaller groupings here, that there are significant differences in pay found in what women earn as low-pay waitresses and cooks, with women earning 88.9 cents to men's dollars as low-pay waitresses and 93.6 cents to men's dollars as low-pay cooks. Note here too, though, that cooks can be broken down into fast food cooks, institutional and cafeteria cooks, private household cooks, and other types of cooks. However, data for these very detailed occupations are unavailable through the public use ACS files, so we leave it as a group categorized broadly as cooks. I bring you to our conclusion by asking, in which industries do we find these low-pay women who are in the food sector occupations? As expected in this case, most, or 77.5%, are located in the food services and accommodation industry. However, they are also represented in the thousands in several other industries. In summary, we have the most low-wage California workers where there is also a significant gender pay gap for women in the food services occupation sector. In the spirit of analyzing similar work, we can also break the food service occupation sector into smaller occupations that might be considered more similar and estimate that there is a significant gender pay gap for women who are waitresses and who are cooks. Given that cooks and waitresses work in different establishments, some even work in homes, what will be considered substantially similar work, and is there a gender pay differential in those occupations?